Mayank with their.
Mayank,
Uh,
I'm sorry, I couldn't able
mhm,
to do that, but
mm,
I practiced what had been taught in the last class and in the
mhm,
Excel and all. So
mhm.
I'll do it today. I'm sorry for that.
No worries. Uh, so I think we will have a doubt clearing session next week, Tuesday or Thursday. So whenever we are done with it, in the doubt clearing session, we can discuss those.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Cool. So let me know once my screen is visible. All of you can also parallelly open a blank Excel, and then we can do these exercises on live. Uh, so just to do a quick recap, last class we did index match, if, conditional functions, conditional formattings, offset, sum ifs. Uh, in this session, the main idea would be to understand how do we play around with large data sets. So we'll be learning filter functions, unique, ranges, dynamic ranges, tables, pivot tables, power queries, grouping, protections, and like some bits of developer uh, functionalities in the Excel. Though when we'll be having like the VBA section, we'll deep dive into more into the developer part, but like high level on how it will work. So this is the main agenda for this session. Any question, anyone, or anyone has any doubts from the previous session, so we can address it before we jump into it.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yes,
So
I'm
we,
too good.
Mhm,
Yeah, proceed.
sure. So quickly, if does all of you have a blank Excel open?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with the first exercise. Let's create a. I think Ganesh is here. So let's create a table like this, where the first column has a country name written, the next column has a year name, and the last one has the revenue. Uh, in the first column, again, these are dummy data. You can have it your any country name you want. Uh, so for example, I have US, UK, Germany, France, Japan. You can also have like a smaller data set. In the second column, I have 3 years, 20, 21, and 22. And then the last year, I have some random numbers. Maybe you can quickly create this table, and then we can understand how filter and unique work. Just give me a,
So Mayank,
yeah, hmm
I mean, so
yeah.
is the countries USA, UK, Germany, France, China, Canada, and year you have from minimum and maximum year you have
These are
2020.
2021, 22, but you can have it on your own. Like if you want 5 years, these are like random dummy numbers. You can have like your own data set.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Ganesh. You can also create this table on your Excel, and then we can discuss the filter and the unique functions.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I was just going through that only. Yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah.
joined 5 minutes late. Yeah.
No worries, no worries. Yeah. Team, just give me a heads up once you guys are done with the table. Done.
In the revenue part, can we
Mhm.
apply a random between
Yeah,
form?
yeah. Apply a random formula and you can write any random numbers. You can also create a smaller table, and this is just for reference. If you
Oh,
think that you only need like a 10, 15 rows, that's also fine.
sure. Done.
Cool. Is everyone else also clear?
Done. Around 10 rows I had created. So like, okay.
That's fine. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
thank you.
Ganesh, sorry, like the username Dell. If you could tell me your original name. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so Samriddhi, just keep let me know in case you are done uh, with the table. So the first question is we need to find the list of all the unique countries here. So we'll use the unique formula here. So if I type unique here, if you see here, returns the unique value from a range or an array. So I'll click here and select the array, and it will give me the unique countries which are present in the uh, data set. Can all of you quickly apply this unique formula and get the unique list of countries which you have? Let me know once it's done.
Done.
Cool.
But Mayank, let's say if we
Mm.
have a very long list, right? So
Mhm.
like we have to press the first one and then goes completely down. Is there like a shortcut? Like, can we like click on the tab of the country and then select everything?
So this shortcut is that let's say if you have selected unique,
Yeah,
uh, you click on the first cell, then you click
yeah.
on control, uh, sorry, you click on control shift and down arrow. So it will automatically go to the last cell of the table.
Of the table.
Yeah,
So
control
once
shift and down arrow. Down arrow.
control shift and down. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll note it down this thing.
Yeah.
Shift.
Samriddhi, Ganesh, Vidya, everyone.
Yes, done.
Cool. So similar to the first question, we'll do the second question, which is like the finding the unique years. So again, we'll use the unique formula, go to the first cell, again, control shift down, we'll enter, and it'll give us the unique years which it has. You can quickly try this and then we can go to the next one.
Done.
Cool. Ganesh, are you also able to complete?
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Done.
cool. Let's go to the third one. The third question here says that filter data for a specific country. So currently this table has a lot of countries, but let's say if the question comes that let's say filter the data only for India, and let's say the user selects here the country name. Let's say if I have a country name drop down here, let me quickly add this, and the user can select. Let me also add a data validation. So let's say this is the data validation I have. So the user can select which country they want. So let's say if they select India, so only the India data should filter and come out. So how can I do that? So for this, we'll be applying a filter formulas. How does a filter formula work? So if you see the filter formula, it says array, include, and if empty. So we'll select the whole data set first. So this is my data set. It says include, which means what do I want to include? So currently I want to include only India. So sorry, I'll select only the data set. In the include section, I'll select the countries, and then I will select India in this. So, and then I click on enter. So it will give me only those data ranges which have India in the country name. If I change it to, let's say, China or Japan, sorry, it will give me a data set which has Japan. Again, I'll repeat. So we'll apply the filter formula. The first selection would be an array. So the entire data set, like the whole data set we'll select. And the next one will be where do we want to apply the filter? So it will be like the column B. So I've selected the entire column. And then I've equated that in this entire data set from B6 to B35, filter Japan. So like whichever rows are equal to Japan, filter that. This is what that is doing there. Any questions there? You guys can quickly try this.
No questions, Mayank.
Okay. Okay, Samidhi, do you want me to repeat this again?
Mayank, you have for the entire table selection, you have excluded
Headers.
the column name, header name.
Yes, the headers I've excluded. Yeah. So again, Samriddhi, to repeat here, what I've done is I've used the filter formula. I've selected the entire data set except the headers. Then the column where I wanted to filter my country, I've selected that column range. So here like column B6 to B35, and then I've equated it to Australia. So it will only pick rows where column B has Australia written.
If I want to change the country, so I will change the name in the Australia section. Then.
Yes, yes. So there are two ways to it, right? One way is that instead of equating it to France, I manually write it France here, right? So what will happen that it'll again do the same thing, just that if I have to change this France to, let's say, US tomorrow, so I'll have to update these formulas again and again. So the best practice in Excel always is that you never hard code anything in the formula, never. That makes like at any stage, if you are updating the model or any Excel, this is the most complex part to go to each formula and update references. So the easiest way to do this is that always have your names written somewhere in the Excel and then equate it to that. So it's always easy to find them and figure them. So generally what we do, I'll also show you, like, for example, one of the models which I had built. I'll just quickly show you. So we generally create a control sheet in the backend. So if you see here, so this is the control sheet. So these all selections similar, like, if I have to apply filter, if I have to apply unique, anything. So this is like a control sheet. So every formula or anywhere, if I want to use something, so this is like my backend sheet, which controls everything. So if I have to, like, like similar to what I was showing you, like France or something. So you can use this there. Like, are you guys able to see the control sheet which I'm showing?
No.
Okay, sorry. Can you see it now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So this is like a forecast model where we have the control sheet. In this control sheet, if you see that um, all the selections, all the formula, whichever they are linked to any countries or any data set. So this is like where we link everything to it. And if there are any changes which I have to make, so I'll make the changes here, and all the formulas automatically get updated. So instead of hard coding in the formula, the best practice is to have a control sheet like this. Any questions still here? Okay. Ganesh, are you also able to complete the third one?
Actually, my Excel is 2019
Mhm.
version. I guess not. I'm opening in another laptop, which is I think this functions comes after like 2020 version and everything. In 19 function, it's not there. This filter function and everything. So I'm trying to log in through another laptop. So I'm just
Sure,
sorting
sure,
it.
yeah. Sure. Samiti, Mayank, are you able to do it?
I could able to do, Mayank. Actually, I wanted to apply data validation also in the tab. Can I
Mhm.
share you my Excel in the
Yeah, yeah,
screen? Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Can you able to see that?
Yeah, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So like in this cell, I have applied the filter formula, but
Mhm.
I wanted to have the data
Mhm.
validation tab here
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
so that people can select. But like I'm
Mhm.
trying and it is not happening.
Okay.
Or should I
Yes.
have to do it here? What I have to
No, no,
do?
no, no. G is the right place. But why is it not happening?
Okay, let me show you. 1 second.
Mhm.
This source. Here I'm selecting US and like everything.
Wait,
It
wait,
will
wait, wait,
show
wait, wait.
them.
So you can't select this. If you select everything, which means
Mhm.
first of all, you
Oh,
can,
sorry. I got
yeah,
my answer. Okay, I have to
yeah,
select only country. Yeah,
yes,
1 second.
only country, and that too, if you select like the column B,
Huh.
so that will not give you the right value because it will have US 2 times, UK 2 times.
Yes.
So the better and the best way is that in the first question, what you calculated the unique value as US,
Huh.
UK, Germany, you select
I
that.
can put this value.
Yes, you can select that.
Okay. Like let me change to UP. Okay. So this
One
is
more
not
thing there.
changed.
Yes. Because like in the formula, if you go to the formula for USA,
Yeah,
where is this formula? So
it
this
is in
yeah,
this cell.
no. So this is B24, right? B24, you have to replace it with
With this cell?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. I will do that. Here. Perfect. Thank you.
One
Thank
more
you.
thing I'll add here, Mayank, and other team members can also see. Let's say if the first question I had not solved, if I directly want to apply it, so what I can do is open the data validation part again, like what you applied in G, like the Germany place, like the cell Germany.
Yeah.
No. Go to Germany again, like the D, the G,
This
yeah,
one.
buddy. Yeah, open the data validation, what you applied.
Yeah.
No, like the data validation. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
In this, you can also apply in the source, you can also write the formula. So instead of equating it to F, just write it equal to,
I'll
yeah, just write equal to, and then write unique. Yeah, it won't come, then open the bracket. Now select the data, like column B, the entire, yeah.
this one completely there.
No, yeah,
Okay,
only B.
for country.
Yeah. And then close it, enter. Yeah, click on OK.
Okay.
Yeah. You click yes. Now show me what's it.
No, it is not happening.
Okay, but like that's something which we also can do, Jenny. I'm not sure why it's not happening there, but if in
Okay.
case if we don't have it somewhere written, so we can also write formulas within data validation.
Mayank, on a similar thing, like
Mhm.
while practicing now, I have
Mhm.
applied data validation here also, and I faced yesterday the same issue. Uh, let's see the duplicate in the region. Yeah. So you can see that, right? There is a gap over here,
Mhm.
and then there
Mhm.
is a gap. So probably I should apply a unique over here and then do it.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'll stop sharing the screen now.
Okay. So let's do the last one, which says find a list of countries with a revenue above 1,000 in 2022. This 1,000 is my number, but you can choose your number between your data. Like if you think that 50 is your lowest number or like a mid number. So the question is that find a list of countries with revenue above 1,000 in 2022. So how do we do this? Just try it, think about it, and tell me like how will you solve it?
We have to apply the filtered formula about 1,000 in the in the country column.
That's right. So just remember here, uh, let's say if I apply the filter formula, I have to select the whole array, right? So I'll select filter. I'll select this array. Next is include what? What do I want to include? So I want to see wherever the year is equal to 2022. So I write 2022. Just make sure. Now I also have to apply a condition that the revenue is greater than 1,000. Whenever I have to apply two conditions within the filter, so the idea is that what I do, I put both the conditions in bracket. So the first condition I put it in bracket, put a multiplication symbol. It's basically an and condition that both should apply. And then I select the region. So it says revenue should be above 1,000. So I select the revenue data and it should be, sorry, greater than 1,000. And I then select enter. Sorry.
Mayank, instead of star, can we also write and uh, like the one which is in the keyboard, or it won't work in Excel?
No, it will not. You'll have to use this one.
Star only.
Yeah.
And if there is an or situation like this or this, then what we should do?
Generally, filter does not accept or condition.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So if you see now, it has given me all the countries which have in 2022 the revenue is greater than 1,000. Clear? Any questions here? Ganesh, Smriti, Vidya. Is everyone able to do it?
One second, give me 2 minutes.
Sure.
Done, Mayan.
Cool.
Mayank, if there is a string like here you are becoming like here you are writing equal to 2022 and invalid
Mhm.
value. If there is a string, then
I'll put in
it will
quotes.
be same or we have to write inverted comma, mean inverted and then type the
Yes.
value.
Yes.
I mean single quote or double quote.
Double quotes. Double quotes. Things are always in double quotes.
Okay. Yes, I am also done.
Cool. So this was all about filter and unique. Again, there are different ways you can filter things, find unique values. Again, exercise which I'll be sharing, you can practice more of this. The next concept, what we'll be learning about is called ranges. Any one of you have any idea about name ranges and how they can be created and how are they helpful?
No idea.
Anyone?
Mm.
Okay. Okay. So Excel gives us a functionality to create name ranges in any data. Now, if you see here, every time when I had to write any formula, I had to go to that data, select the whole data every time, right? For any question, do this. Now, a better way is that you create a name range uh, to the data set. How do we do that? Let's say I select the whole country list and I write here. So in the top left corner here, you can write what do you want to call this data selected data as. Let's say I want to call it. So as a best practice, whenever you write any name, you should always start with RNG. This is not a hard and fast tool. This is just uh, for you to understand later. That if you're writing any codes, if there is an RNG written, so it will help you identify that this is a range in any of my Excel. So I'll write RNG and then I'll write country list. So this entire range now is called RNG country list. So now from now onwards, if I have to if I have to find the unique list of countries, I don't have to go and select uh, the country list. Rather, I can just write RNG country list here, and this will give me the same result here. So every time, wherever I was using or giving this list here, so instead of this, I can just write RNG country list here, and this will give me the same. So that effort of mine, and there are chances that every time when I go and select the data, I might do an error there. So all this gets eliminated if I use name ranges. Similarly, what I've created RNG country list here, I can create a RNG years here, and maybe here I can create RNG revenue. Or if I want to name the entire table, so I can also select the whole table and write it as RNG table 1. So now this is called RNG table 1. Any questions, any doubts? Anyone?
So how we reach to that cell where we are typing RNG.
Yeah. So what you do is you select the data first, and using your mouse, you select this here. The other way is that you select the data, and in formulas, if you go, there is a name manager section here. So you can also click on name manager. Once you click on name manager, you have options of new, edit, and delete. I can click on new. If I want to click and create a new name range, I click on new. They ask what is the name of uh, your name range. Let's say I write uh, year and revenue, RNG year, RNG year revenue, and then it says refers to. What I'll do is I'll select this RNG, and now RNG revenue is created. So in this formula section, there is a name manager here. Using this, I can also see all the list of ranges which I've created. So I've created RNG country list, RNG revenue, RNG table one. And in case tomorrow, if I add more data, if I want to edit this, so I can, also go and edit, right? Like let's say instead of 35, let's say if I want to make it 55, so I do it. So this automatically gets updated. Now, based on these, all these formulas will also get updated because this formula was not linked manually. This was linked to a range.
Hmm. Hmm.
So Samridhi is asking if there's any limitation of name functions. Rather limitations, I would say name functions are always helpful uh, to make things more dynamic. Like for example, as you saw here, that I just changed my RNG country list um, range name to 55 and all my formulas automatically get updated. So this is an advantage uh, of using a range. Mayank, any question?
No, no, I'm good.
Like the only, I think, like the challenge would be that sometimes it gets difficult to remember what name range you had, entered for, let's say, the country name or the year name. That's why it's always advisable to use standard names so that you don't have to go to the name range and again look for what is the name of the name range. Then that's the only, I think, limitation that you have to remember uh, those name ranges. Also, one good,
Mayank,
yeah,
so the name manager, I have created 3 name ranges, but
yeah.
like when I'm clicking on a particular cell, it is showing the C24. For example, the cell which I'm clicking instead of showing the name range. So
You want to share screen?
yeah, 1 second. So like when I'm clicking over here it was showing the cell name instead of the name which I had given. So like the name which I have given is the country list, right? So
So yeah, so Mike,
yeah,
if you see here, the country list is not from it's the country list is not just B24. If you select entire B24 to B42, now you will
okay.
see country RNG
Okay,
country list.
okay. So all the
Yes,
list.
yes,
So like how you had created a kind of a metadata that a checklist, right, which you had shown us. I think this would help in making that.
exactly,
And one
exactly.
more thing, in your screen, I have seen that like I, J, so the keyboard shortcuts are also mentioned. Is it possible to get it like how you did it with
Yes,
your
yes.
screen?
So
How can we do that?
yeah, so team, one thing which I want to highlight here to everyone, Mayank, Vidya, and Samriddhi, that your efficiency or your speed in Excel will only increase once you get away from your mouse. Like the more mouse you use, the slower you'll get. This might be difficult initially, but this will really help you. Now, how do I remember the shortcuts? The easiest way is that let's say I don't know where the name manager is, just that I know it's in the data tab. So click on the Alt button. No, don't click on data. Just click on the Alt button.
Yes.
Can you
Okay.
see? Yeah. So now data is A, right? So
Mm.
click on A now. Now, if you see
Yeah.
A, you will have shortcuts for everything. I think name manager was in formulas. Now, if you want to go
Mm.
back, just click on escape. Now do it again. Let's say right Alt M,
Okay. Alt and okay.
Alt.
Alt.
You don't have to press Alt. Now click on M. Remove the Alt. Click on M. And then if you see name manager is N.
Yes.
So if you
Okay.
just click on N, it will open the name manager. Right. So similarly, if you ask me any function, I might not remember that if name manager is in formulas or data. But if you ask me what's the shortcut, I'll tell you it's Alt MN. So the more you practice the shortcuts, the better it goes. Any function, like let's say if I have to insert anything, so I'll write Alt H I and it'll open inserts. Alt H will go to home. Then if you click on I, it'll go to insert. So
Okay.
yeah. So try using the Alt and the shortcuts to calculate everything.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. Name ranges are clear for everyone. Any question there?
All good, Mayank.
Okay. So the next thing is a dynamic name range. What is a dynamic name range? Uh, in the name manager, what we were seeing here, we can also write formulas, what we were seeing. So let's say if I write RNG, let's say anything user. And how does it work? So if I write if, let's say anything here, if this is equal to, the only thing, the problem here is that writing formulas in these are very difficult. And you have to be very careful when you are writing these formulas. Okay. So clear till here? So basically in these, what I've basically done is I've written a formula that if let's say I-21, this cell here is basically let's say year. So write this, and if it's revenue, so write this. So even the name ranges can be made dynamic. And you can write formulas, but again, writing formulas there, it's not an easy thing because you don't get selections like Excel there. Clear?
Mayank, can you also show about like dollar sign, like locking cell and locking cell? That also I have confusion.
Sure,
Um,
sure. So where does locking help? Locking generally helps when I have to drag the formula from one place to another, or copy paste the formula to one place to another. That's when uh, locking helps you. Let's say if I have to just write the formula here in one cell at once, so locking will not be very helpful to you. It generally helps when I have to drag the formula to from one to another. Now, how does it work? So let's say if I have to uh, write index, uh, and let's say if I select this entire thing. Now, if you, I've written the cell, selecting the cell. Now, if I click on F4, so the first time once you press the F4, it'll lock everything. So if you see B is locked, 6 is locked, B is locked, 35 is locked, everything is locked, which means that now if I, let's say, copy this formula to anywhere, this B and 36 will always be locked. If I copy this and paste it anywhere I want, even if I paste it here, the B and 6 will always be locked. Like the selection will not change. Now, how does it help? Now, let's say in the same formula, if I remove the locking for 6 and 35, if I remove the locking for 6 and 35, when I copy this formula and drag it to any other place, if you see the formula selection is also getting moved accordingly. So it automatically moves from where you have copied and pasted the formula to. Clear? Now, let's say instead of the 6, let's say if I lock it to the B columns. So if you see here, I'm just locking the B columns, the numbers are still unlocked, which means that if I move it from here to, let's say here, the selections will also get updated accordingly.
So like if there is base B6, okay, so B number column and 6 number row. So if I have to lock B6, then I have to put dollar after B and after 6 also. And
Yes.
if I have to lock only 6,
Mhm.
okay, then I have to put dollar sign before B, not before 6, correct?
No, if you have to log 6, you have to put before 6.
Okay, before 6. Okay,
Mhm.
so the value which I have to log before that I have to put down.
Yes. Yes. Mhm. Right. Cool. So we'll go to the next part, which is creating tables. Now, let's say this is the same data set what we were working on. If you go to the Insert tab, uh, so the Insert tab has a table selection here. Sorry, there's something wrong with my Excel. Yeah, so you select the data. In the Insert tab, there is, okay, so I've already created the table. So let me just, okay. Let's go to the same data set which you created. Select the data. In the Insert tab, click on the table selection what you see here. So once you click on that, they ask you that create table. Where is the data for your table located? So you select the data, and then there is a selection. Does your table has headers or not? So currently my selection also has headers. I'll click here if your table does not. So remove this checkbox and then click on OK. So once you do that, this data set what you had selected becomes a table now. First, can you all quickly make this a table, and then we'll see what all you can do using a table.
Done.
Cool. Mayank, Samriddhi.
Done.
Perfect. Now this is a table. Now if I want to explore the features of the table, so I'll select the table. At the top, if you see, automatically once I have created a table design add-in will come up. Now in this table design add-in, if you see the options which come up is basically insert a slicer. Now insert a slicer, what does it do? It gives me options of what uh, slicer do you want to insert. Let's say if I say countries. So what it'll do, it'll give me a drop down like selection using which I can select the country. So let's say if I select only Australia, so it will automatically filter the data for Australia. If I select Brazil, so they'll filter Brazil, Canada. If I have to select multiple filters here, so I'll click on this multi-select, and then I can now, select multiple countries together. And if I have to remove everything, I'll just write clear filter, which will just remove everything and select all of them. Clear? So select the table. In the table design, go to insert slicer. In the insert slicer, select which. You can also do all three of them. So let's say country, year, and revenue. And basically let the user choose which year they want to see, which country they want to see. And based on that, they can do it. Any questions still here? See? Okay. Are all of you able to create the slices?
Yes,
Ye-
ma'am.
Yes.
Cool. So there are three things in an Excel which you can do. One is creating a table like this, where you go to insert, create a table. The other thing is you create a pivot table. And the third thing we learn is a Power Query. Now, how are these three things different? Uh, in a table like this, uh, what I've created, this is the most simplest level of a tabular view. You can create slicers, you can sort the data, you can add these functionalities. Now, pivot table goes the next level. Pivot table also helps you if you want to, have the year column in the second column, the revenue first, the country third. So you can customize your table, using the way you select. Power Query is the most advanced form of table which we have right now in Excel. Power Query helps you to clean data, clear any data if you want. For a huge data set, you can define the steps which you want to follow, and the Power Query will do it every time for you. We'll learn that as well. So clear on tables. We'll go to the next part. Let me just quickly. Yeah. So once the table is created, the next thing is a pivot table. So select the table, click on pivot table here, which says from table or range. Click on that. So it will ask you that do you want to create a new worksheet or an existing worksheet? Let's say I'm creating a new worksheet here, and I'll click on OK. Once I click on OK, this is the selection which I get here. Now, what is this selection here? So they are saying that three selections here: country, year, and revenue. Let's say revenues I want in my values, years I want in my columns, and country I want in my rows. And then I want a filter of country here. No. And if I okay, countries in row. So if you see here, my initial data set was something like this. But once I use my Power Query, once I use my pivot table, I have something, a structure like where all the countries are listed, all the horizon are listed. I also have a grand total here. Now, this is like the pivot table field option, what you have, in which you can customize if you want the sum of revenues, you want a country, you want a year in columns, whichever you want. If I put columns, like the year selection in the rows, and if I put countries in columns, so this is what you will get. So you will have the years here and the columns, like the countries in the column. So based on however you want to place it, you can customize it and then get the pivot table ready. Any questions still here, team? You all can quickly create a pivot table. Again, I'll repeat, the pivot table is in the insert section. In the insert, you have a pivot table option, but make sure that you select the data first and then click on the pivot table. Mayank, Samriddhi, Vidya, any questions?
Mayank, can you please repeat the pivot table fields selection, like in filters, columns, rows, or values? So, what is the ideal? What, like, where should be the country or year or the?
So it all depends upon where you want it to look like. For example, let's say if my client or the stakeholder whom I'm creating this for, he wants the years here and the countries in the columns. So what I'll do, I'll have the countries on my columns, and in my rows I'll have years. Let's say they want countries to be written here and the columns to be having the years. So what I'll do is I'll shift this to year here and countries to my rows. So if this will have all the countries listed and then all the years at the top.
Mm.
So it all depends upon what type of view do you want to present. There's no hard and fast rule that the years should always be at the top or at the bottom. Yeah. Cool. So we'll go to the last part, which is called a Power Query. Now, Power Query is the most advanced function of Excel for a tabular view. So for Power Query, you have to go to Data. In Data, there's Get Data selection here. In Get Data, you write from other sources from table and ranges. Again, I'll repeat, you go to data, you write get data. In get data, you select from other sources from table and ranges. You can select from multiple sources. If you see from Power Platform, from Azure, from databases, from any other file you want, from Excel workbook, you can select all this. But currently we just want to create one using our team. So I'll click one. Now, once I select this, my Power Query editor will get opened. Now in Power Query editor, once this gets opened, I can define rules here. So if you see here on the right hand side, I have applied steps written here. So whichever steps which I apply. So for example, let's say if I go to the selection and if I select Australia here. So what happens here? It says filtered rows, which means that this step is recorded. Now, anytime I run this Power Query, automatically it will take the data set, filter Australia, and give me the result. Let's say if I also want to filter the year, so let's say it is 21 and I click on OK. So if you see here, again, the filtered data row is completed. If I, let's say, want the revenue to be on the second side, so I just copy it and put it this side. So revenue and year come second. And if you see here, a step is recorded, reordered columns. Now, once I'm done with all the steps which I want to do, I'll click on close and load. And once I click on close and load, if you see here, it automatically creates a new sheet which has Australia and the value there. Now, let's say in the data, someone updated Australia's number. Let's say if I make this as 10,000. Now, the numbers in the Power Query will not be refreshed unless I go to query and click on refresh. Once I click on refresh, if you see here, it says one row loaded and the revenue is automatically updated. Any questions or doubts? I know you might not have seen this before and this might be something new, but let me know in case you have any questions and we can discuss it.
What are the applications of Power Query?
So a lot of times you want to clean the data. Let's say there is a huge data set which has like, let's say 1 lakh rows. The clients does not want to see if their revenue $3, $4. So let's say you apply a filter that everything which is less than, let's say $100 gets removed. So you put in the filter there. For example, I'll show you. You again, sorry. So let's say even once you have created a Power Query, you can go to the query section here and write edit query. So in the initial data set, let's say in revenue, if I add number filters and if I write greater than, so greater than, if I write a value here, let's say 1000 and click on OK. So only the data which have greater than 1000 numbers will be reflected. If it is less than 1000, so no data will be shown. So it majorly helps in data cleaning, or if you have a set of steps which you have to do from table every day. Let's say there's an attendance sheet from which you have to take out the unique values. You have to find out how many people came, which you have to do, let's say, every day. So you can record all these steps here. And then every time just go and refresh, click on the refresh button, and all the numbers will automatically get populated. So generally, these are the general applications.
Mayank, can you walk me through, like, I have clicked on the table and the Power Query. So like get data. Okay. I click on the table, which was initially generated, get data, and then launch Power Query editor.
Sorry, can you share your screen?
Yes, 1 second. Yeah, so I click this table, get data, then I have to import, let's say, this data to a Power Query editor. Then
Click on from other sources. From other sources.
Okay, from this table.
Yes. Yes. Click on that. Yes. Now just remember that whatever steps you do, that gets recorded on the right. So if you see on the right, there is a section below which says applied steps.
Applied steps. Yes.
Right. So let's say in the revenue, go to the revenue section and click on greater than, let's say, yeah, just click on.
Let's say I'll just select this and then this. Okay.
So it recorded a step which is like filtered rows. So every time, even if you have a new data set, and if you run this Power Query, what you are doing right now, so it will remove those data points which you have done because it has recorded that step.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So similar, let's
So,
say you have a data set, but you don't want to have like the Germany data in that. So you can select in the country, remove Germany. So every time you run this Power Query, it will automatically remove Germany and only then give you the results.
Okay, so that's how it can automate as well.
Exactly.
So the
Exactly.
entire transformation steps. Okay,
Exactly.
okay. Like how we do in Power BI. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions, anyone? Okay. So we'll let me know once my screen is visible. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the next thing what we are going to learn is grouping. One second. Now what is grouping? G- does any one of you know what grouping is?
No.
no.
Okay, one second. So let's say this is one of the models here. Now these are the assumptions. Like I'm sure Ashish would have mentioned, like the general flow is like there's an epi section, there is a shared section, there is a conversion section where you enter pricing and all. Now in these sections, let's say now this is a simple model which is there, but let's say if I want to enter the conversion section, so I have to go at the top bottom every time and find it out. So to simplify the process, what we do is we add groupings here. So if you see here, groupings basically uh, hides your all your rows, and let's say this is how I'll have in my grouping. And let's say if I just want to open the conversion section, I just click on conversion, and this will get automatically opened. And if I want to close it, I'll close it here, click on epi, so it will open all the epi numbers, all the epi section here. Now, how do we do this? So I'll just quickly show you. Let's say this is my entire data set. Let me just quickly ungroup it. To select the data which you want to group, so I'll select my first section here, which is let's say the epi section, and I click on Alt, data. Once you click on data, on the right hand side, you will see grouping here. Sorry, outline basically. In outline, you have group. So click on this group, and this will ask you want to group the rows or the columns. I want to group the rows. So once you click on there, it will automatically have a grouping available for you. Similarly, you can do the same thing for shares. You click on shares and this will become your share. Any questions, team? Mayank, Vidya, any questions?
All good.
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this was the grouping part. The last thing which I wanted to explain was the protection. Now, what happens? Let's say this is the model which you have created, right? We have given it to the user. The user changes things like, for example, in this, they just write it something else, right? So your model is ruined now. Like everything gets messed up if the user enters a wrong thing at a wrong place. If let's say they write anything like start here, so everything gets messed up. So to prevent this, so to prevent the user to enter uh, values at the wrong places, we use protection of your model. So where is protection? So in the review section, if you go, there is a protect sheet selection what you have. How does a protect sheet help? So the first thing they ask is what is the password you want to give? So let's say if I write forecasting is my password. Now they'll ask you what do you want to basically protect. You want to select locked cells, select unlocked cells, format cells. You can select which all things do you want to protect the users to enter or delete. If you see delete columns, delete rows. Sometimes if you give if you give a normal model, many of the times the clients just delete some of the rows and then the entire model gets messed up. So if you just want to see that nobody should delete anything, so I'll click on delete rows or delete columns, and then click on OK. So nobody will be, and again re-enter. So nobody will be able to delete anything now. So let's say when they delete, it will say that the cell or chart you're trying to change is a protected sheet. To make a change, you might be request a password to enter. Now, only you can change it. How? Again, you have to go and then click on unprotect sheet. Once you click, they'll ask you what is the password here. You enter the password, and then now you are able to delete or add anything. Here, so this is a protection functionality available within the Excel, which is in the review section, the protect sheet. Clear? Any questions still here?
Whenever we share our data with client, like these numbers, forecast numbers, so do we give only the numbers and not all the formulas and the sales where we have worked all this, or just the numbers pasted in?
No, so it depends. So there are, let's say, two levels. I would say the first level is, let's say, the person who is responsible for this forecast, right? So someone who is responsible to generate the forecast, we'll have to give them everything. So if you see here, this is an input sheet which has all the inputs. There is an audit sheet which has all the calculations happening in the model at a monthly or at an annual level. There is a summary sheet, there is a scalar and revenue sheet. All these things are there. So the person who is responsible to generate uh, the forecast, he should have access to everything, like all the summaries, all the so he can see also how the calculations are happening, right? How the numbers are applying, how the filters are applying. So he should be able to see it. But let's say someone who is he is presenting the numbers to, like let's say a VP or a executive VP, he does not want to see what the calculations look like. He only wants to see like what the summaries, all the how the revenue, what is the peak revenue. So this is what he would look like he would see in a model, but like a stakeholder or a client who's responsible to generate the forecast, for him, we'll have to give like a detailed model where he can see everything.
No.
Any questions till here, team? Okay. So before we end the session, the last thing we wanted to discuss is the developer section. So can all of you check that do you have a developer add-in in your menu bar at the top, like where you have home, insert, draw? Do you have developer written at the end?
No.
Okay. Mayank and Samridhi, do you have developer written? Okay.
No, no.
Okay. So Mayank, can you share your screen and I can help you how to get that developer add-in?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you go to file and all of you can follow it? If you go to file, and if you go to options on the left below, it will be options. If you scroll down, click on more, go to options. In this, there is a customize ribbon on the left. Now, if you see there's a main tab here, can you, on the customize the ribbon on the right, can you go down? On the right, if you see,
This side.
yeah, can you go down? Yeah, so you see developer is unchecked. Can you check it? And
Yeah.
then now just click on OK.
New tab.
No, just click on OK. OK at the bottom. Do you see OK like at the below, like lowermost?
There is like 1 second.
Just click on enter.
Yeah, there is okay. Thanks. It is hidden. Answer that.
Yeah. So now you will have developer. So either it's recording macros or opening a Visual Basic coding platform within an Excel. or any other add-ins if you want to use. So we'll have a dedicated VBA session next week where we'll understand that what are these macros or how can I code things in an Excel. So before we go there, just ensure that everyone has this developer add-in available. Vidya and Samriddhi, like, were you able to get this
Yes.
developer add-in?
Yes, sir. Done.
Mayank, one more thing, since you have shown about the Power Query editor, do
Mhm.
we also have to do data wrangling, data cleaning, transformation and all for forecasting, or someone else will do and then present the values?
It depends actually what level of data are we requiring. So let's say it's a TRX or NRX data. So generally
Yeah.
that's generally done by the team. They give you a huge data set and you do these Power Queries and get the data. Or let's say it is an patient level data, right? Given by some of the insurance company from US. Those have millions of rows which cannot be handled by Excel generally.
Yes,
So for
yes.
that, we have a patient analytics team whom we give all the data, and they have all these queries which they run in their different platforms which they have, and then they finally give us the extracted result what we want.
Mayank,
Depends. Yeah,
one request. I mean, is it also possible that can you show us those real data? I mean, if you could, it would be great. So that,
the
or
NRX
you can give
TRX.
as in, yeah. So that we can practice also with that.
Definitely, I'll do that. So maybe the exercise which I'll share for the second session of Excel, I'll ensure that those have those data set available.
Yeah, and you have also shown a forecast sheet, right? I mean, if it is not specific, if you have such, I mean, any dummy forecast sheet or anything related to that which we can view and we can also play around, it
Mm.
would be great.
Yep. So mind like the idea for this course also is to help you guys create a model. So I
Yeah.
think the last exercise would be to when you guys create a model, in those we would be helping you create one model, and then also we'll also share some dummy models with you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So team, these were the major things which I wanted to discuss in today's session. Uh, in case you haven't practiced the first sheet which I had shared, please practice that. And then I'll also be sharing the second sheet. Uh, please practice that before we jump into the developer and the VBA exercises. And if you have any questions, I think Tuesdays and Thursdays we have 30 minutes block wherein we can discuss all these questions there.